Speaker number 2, Rich Briner. Doing good with what we've got. Doing good with what we've got. Rich Briner.
Hey. That's about it. That's Andy, whose permission I have to tell this story, and that's how Andy completed a speech of 7 minutes and 21 seconds. A speech that any one of us here could have completed in 5 minutes. From the back of the room, the question came, Andy, have you stuttered all your life? He said, not yet. All around, laughter. Laughter turned to applause. Applause for a man who was doing good with what he's got and laughing off what he's not. Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, guests, judges. This philosophy is exemplified in the BC cartoon by Johnny Hart. Wiley, the one-legged man, says, I'm thankful for these things. I'm thankful that I have one leg. To limp is no disgrace. Although I can't be number one, I still can run the race. For it's not what we cannot do that makes us who we are. It's doing good with what we've got that makes each of us a star. What is it for you? Are you too tall? Are you too short? Or are you too skinny like me and Gavin Blakey? What is it about ourselves that we cannot change? Can we laugh at it? Let's laugh at it. And we, like Andy, will be doing good with what we've got and laughing off what we're not. Now, I'm cross-eyed. You can probably tell. I've been cross-eyed all my life. I had an operation to correct it when I was 2 years old. The next day, I was seated at the breakfast table with my brother, and I began to eat my cereal. Obviously, the operation didn't take, but this never got me into trouble until I got fired from my first teaching job. Couldn't keep my pupils under control, you know. Well, you know. I'm a runner. I've run the Boston Marathon 9 times. I'm never going to win that race. This is something like my crossed eyes that I cannot change. Can I do good with what I've got in this race? I had a plan. In April 1979, I decided that I was going to finish the Boston Marathon next to the first woman. Why would I do that? Because that night on Dan Rather's network evening news program, they would show the first male crossing that finish line, and 20 minutes later, the first female crossing the finish line of the Boston Marathon. Now picture this. Yes, in sports bars across the country, on those big screens like these, you would see the two of us crossing that finish line together. Wow! People would look up at that screen and they'd say, who is that woman next to Rich Briner? I got to the 23-mile mark. Everything was unfolding as it should. I could hear up ahead the pounding of the breakers against the shore, but it wasn't that. It was the passing of that first woman runner. When she goes by, the Boston crowds go crazy cheering for her. I was closing in on her. I got to 24 miles, and up ahead, I could see bobbing pigtails, red and white running shorts. She was a sight for sore thighs. She was. I'm 50 yards behind her, 20, 10. Finally, I'm running right next to Patty Lyons Catalano, the hometown favorite. We are being swept down Commonwealth Avenue from the waves of adulation from the crowd. People are yelling, "Go, Patty, go!" We hit 25 miles, stride for stride, 26. Finally, we crossed the finish line together. I did it. The director of the Boston Marathon came walking out with his hand extended. I went over to shake it. He walked right by me. He walked over to Patty. He shook Patty's hand. He hugged Patty, and he said, "Patty, congratulations. You just finished second amongst the women in the Boston Marathon." Second? Second? I followed the wrong woman. But was I unsuccessful? I returned to the wisdom of Wiley, the one-legged man. Although I can't be number one, can't get my picture on the news, I still can run the race. Although I've still got crossed eyes, I don't mind them because I'm behind them. Although Andy can't speak at our pace, he can still make his case. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not what we cannot do that makes us who we are. It's doing good with what we've got that makes each of us a star